What's up, guys? Stevenator1, 2 and 2, and it's fucking hot. Oh my god, I wish I could tell you guys how I'm not into this right now. But I got a small discussion video for you guys today because, frankly, I don't really feel like putting a lot of effort into it. I am on fire right now. First thing we're going to talk about is I'm on my way to 10K subscribers. Woo! That also means that a lot of you guys probably had missed some of my earlier content that is a little more timeless and not just like really old deck profiles that are full of band cards and don't mean anything anymore. So, for you guys who are interested in seeing some of the stuff that I've done in the past that you didn't feel like looking through my video backlog, because frankly I have like 200 videos or something like that, you're not going to want to skim through that. Over here, I'm actually going to have Ryan annotate my green screen specials, the little tiny shorts, kind of like the Vine things that you guys might like. Took a lot of work to do, and I got a couple of them, I think 3. I'm actually kind of working on a 4th one for those people who have been with me since the last one. Down here, I got another skit video. And over here is a music video I did for 5K subscribers, which is, seems like that wasn't that long ago, but there's almost double of you since I've done that. Whoa. The next thing I want to talk about is Treatoad. Woo, we're gonna get a bunch of stuff done in one go here, because it's way too hot to record like 3 separate videos. Fuck that. When Treatoad came out, everyone went nuts. This card sounded like it was going to be broke, and some jerk figured out you can summon it with Bahamut Shark, and then any deck that can make 2 level 4 water monsters can make this stupid thing very easily. We got assholes playing this right next to Dark Law and Heroes because you got Norden and you got Bubble Man. Woo! Woot! Not to mention all you jerks with Frog the Jam up to like 28 bucks or whatever it is the last time I looked, just because you can rabbit into this thing. That's ridiculous. Frog the Jam isn't even a frog. You can't actually do that. At least that's how it's ruled in the OCG, because it doesn't actually contain the kanji for frog. Interesting fact, it was named Frog the Jam in the TCG simply because some translator guy thought it looked kind of like a frog. But then frogs became an archetype. So then all the new frog support had to say, except Frog the Jam, because we don't want to be using cards that we're not technically allowed to be using in the other format. Not that I think using Frog the Jam and frogs would totally break the deck. I think the only reason they're using it is because you can tribute for the negation effect, and Rabbit can bring out 2, and then you can overlay and go into it. So you can make Treatoad with Frog the Jam, even though Frog the Jam itself can't be summoned by Treatoad. Personally, I think Frog the Jam should be, for the TCG at least, included in the Frog archetype, because anytime we ever have cards that exclude by name a specific card, it's because it didn't translate quite right, or anachronistically was added to an archetype involuntarily. I really enjoy the card, however, I'm not going to enjoy it getting printed as a secret rare, because everyone knows that when the OCG has a low rarity, common or rare, that is just a great card, it gets ported as a secret rare in the next set, and it's like 50 bucks, and all us poor scrubs who got bills and shit have to play Lightsworn, Cloudians, Metal Foes, OTK. But it'll be really interesting to see what this card does when we get it here in the TCG. Frankly, I'm trying to fit it into my Magician Girls because Coco's a water, and so is Norden, like I said before. So, ooh, stuff. And the last topic I want to talk about is actually a little mild ban list discussion. Because it's ban list season, even though we don't have one and we don't have word of one, and we had the world's list and then nothing else happened after that. So we could not get a ban list soon, but we seem to be adhering to the old schedule, at least kinda, a little bit-ish, without a hard date for the list, but still getting a list relatively every 3 months-ish. The biggest part about this list that I'm excited about isn't what's actually going to get hit, or what's going to get taken off, or what's going to get limited or semi-limited. I don't actually freaking care, frankly. This is one of the lists I've been most indifferent about as to what's actually going to get put on or off of it. What I care about is rattling up a stale-ass format. The reign of the TCG exclusive archetypes of Burning Abyss and Cosmos, albeit being kind of cool that us USA get some really cool card types and archetypes first that are totally like out of the gate meta, which is fun, I guess, except if you're spirals or sub-terrors. But eventually we all get kind of sick of Cosmos and Burning Abyss, especially Burning Abyss, because they've been pretty much tier 1 since they came out. And that was what, like 2 years ago? They've been meta for 2 years. Can you believe that? That's crazy. That was after like getting Tour Guide hit and Graph hit and Seer hit, and I hope I'm right about that because I actually don't remember a lot of their names. Basically, I'm just interested to see this format get shaken up a little bit. However, I'm not just going to sit here and jerk off for 10 minutes or whatever while you guys are getting bored watching me. I'm actually going to talk about what I think might get put on the list or off the list, but I'm not exactly sure how definite my choices are in this because frankly, it's really hot, and I just decided to make this video. I didn't even think about it much. Anyway, let's go! I really don't think Cosmos are going to get many direct hits at all. Dark Destroyer may go to 1, however, I'm not sure if Dark Destroyer is really the problem. Yes, he's very good, untargetable, and destroys a monster on summon, and a lot of times he'll like pop himself for shenanigans and dumb crap like that. However, you need to get at him first, which is why, instead of the stupid Dark Destroyer getting hit like everyone wants to bitch about, how about Tin Can? Oh, I love me my Cosmos. It's the only meta deck I think I've ever played because it's Star Wars, and I love Star Wars. If anyone of my subscribers have ever watched this channel, you would notice that half the shirts I wear have Star Wars on them. So it'd be really a shame to see the deck get hit. However, if you are going to try to knock it down to tier 2 rogue tier status, hitting Tin Can would be a pain in the dick. It pretty much means that you can't search any of your shit anymore, or you're gonna have to run some sort of weird Cosmotown suicide build where all you do is try to kill your Cosmotown as fast as possible just so you can actually play the dumb game. Now another possible hit could be, in theory, Cosmotown. Because honestly, Cosmos brick a lot. Like, a lot. The reason why they do so well is they have a built-in field spell that lets them mulligan their hand. If they were forced to play with the hand they drew, you would have a bunch of Dark Destroyers and no pilots, you'd be fucked. Or, oh look, I drew into Fire King Island and my Garunix. Yay, I can't play. But, oh, I just play Cosmotown, shuffle my shit back in the deck and get new stuff. Oh look, I can actually make a play. That is extremely important for the deck when you play a bunch of seemingly random levels all over the place, and a lot of them are actually high level. You might see crazy things like Mausoleum of the Emperor get stuck in the deck just to alleviate this problem, which I think would be a really fun build of the deck, however. That is a little beside the point. But as far as indirect hits, we might see E-Telly go to 1, which I think is kind of stupid because I hate when they hit meta decks at the expense of rogue decks. As for Monarchs, woo, it's a really good tier 1 deck for 30 bucks you got there. Oh, nothing like trying to swing for game for the 80th time and Prime keeps summoning itself. Blah! So yeah, Prime getting hit to 1 would actually hurt the deck and they won't have to hit anything else because it's free tribute fodder. You just keep doing it. Get rid of that, they gotta actually see their squires or their techie stupid shit like, I don't know, Speedroids or Terratics or whatever dumb fucking Cyber Dragon kind of effect that you need in order to get those big dumb Monarchs out of your hand. Sure, people bitch about the draw card, but I mean, it only kind of works as well as it does because you have Prime to pitch with it, right? If you don't have Prime, what are you sending to the grave? Another Pantheism? Well, that's kind of a shitty play. Or you're sending your tenacity along with it. That doesn't do you any good in the grave. But if you saw Pantheism go to 2, I wouldn't be surprised either. And for Burning Abyss, everyone's been clamoring for Dante to go to 1 for a very long time. And yeah, it would probably kill the deck if he went there. But I'm not completely positive we will actually see a hit to Burning Abyss. Because they've been going this long, I think, you know, we would have saw something before. They got some major hits and actually lost quite a few cards, all considering. It just didn't hurt the deck that much. At this point, it's been 2 years. If Konami just let them get power creeped by everything and they just eventually aren't that great anymore compared to what's new, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. And if PK Fire has taught us anything, it's that you can just keep slapping in rank 3 engines into this anytime it has a problem and you just kind of fix it. So there's always that. Okay, well that's all that might get stuck on the list to some degree, whether it be banned or limited, but the last couple of lists, ever since infamous Snatch Steal format, we've been getting little trickles of banned cards put to 1, and then put to 2, and then put to 3, like D-Mock recently, and we got Thousand Eyes Restrict, and all this other hooey, which will probably go to 3 next list, because you're only going to run 1 in your extra deck anyway if you're even going to do it, and frankly, Norden's still a better target because you can just go into 101 if you really want to do that. Although searching Relinquished with Fusion Reserve or Fusion Conscription is kind of fun, I guess. As far as that crazy random experimental card like Regeki or Snatch Steel, or I don't remember any other ones, this one's really anyone's guess. No one could be wrong in this respect because every single card that's been released is kind of off the wall random. It's not like Stratos where everyone's been clamoring for it forever, which he won't come off, by the way. It's always something random. Like, did anyone want Snatch Steel back? No, people didn't even consider it because it's so damn good. But we got it for a format. So yeah, Konami's clearly trying to make a little experimental push by unbanning weird random crap. And so how about Time Seal? I don't think Time Seal's doing anything, and at 1 it really isn't very good at all. That loop right now would be garbage, so there's no way that this being at 1 would be at all viable. But that's one that could come off the list because I feel like it wouldn't do anything. If I want something to come off the list because I think it would be fun, Last Will. Ooh, starter deck Yugi. This thing's been banned for a very long time. Synchrons would absolutely kill for this card because it would let them summon a free monster when you synchro summon, because the monster just has to leave the field, it doesn't need to be destroyed. However, it's a 1-for-1. Just get a spell to get a monster. It's got quite a few targets, which is fair, I guess. But it's like Sangan. Which of the Black Force is the better one because all the cool stuff has low defense and high attack. So Sangan's not that broke. Frankly, I think Sangan could come off too because, you know, he did get his errata in the OCG. Boo! But as is, I think Last Will could be a really, really fun card because I want to see what people can do with this thing if it was TCG legal. Also, I want Magical Scientist. Shut up down in the comments below. I know it's a terrible idea. I want Magical Scientist. Pay 1,000? Norden. Pay 1,000? Cabanella Warrior. Pay 1,000? Camion Wizard. One format, please. Alright guys, let me down in the comments below what you guys think of my predictions. I'm sure they're very generic and what everyone else has been saying. I actually haven't been watching any of the other lists that people have been talking about. This is just kind of the natural progression of how any of us Yu-Gi-Tubers end up really thinking. We're all a bunch of sheeple. Let me down in the comments below what you guys think will come off the list. Especially let me know one card you think could come off that's not, you know, not going to do anything. One card that could come off that would blow the meta up and be super stapley, but wouldn't just completely trash everything. And just like one really cool, fun card, like Regeki. But yeah, anyway guys, remember, if you don't troll the meta, who will? I'll see you guys next time. My buddy Marion over at Screencasters is actually going to help me out. It's going to be a double deck profile. Say hi, Marion.
Hello and what is up guys, my name is Yugioh. I'm from Screencasters, doing a collab with David1212. The deck we're going over today is Dark Magician Girls, or as I like to call it, Legal Lollies deck. It has something that me and Dave are both really into, which is legal lollies.